It's spring in Idaho. Plants are blooming, crops are starting to grow, everything is coming to life. But along with the plants, flowers, and farm crops, there is also an invader. These invaders are unwelcome plants called noxious weeds.
So what is a noxious weed?
Hello there, I'm Professor Schmatz. I'm here to teach you about noxious weeds. Noxious weeds are plants that have been brought into Idaho, Washington, and many other states. Sometimes they hitch a ride along with other plants and animals. Other times they are brought in by people because they are pretty and can decorate our yards and landscapes. But if these noxious weeds are allowed to grow, they could choke out the good plants and kill them. This can destroy our farms, rangelands, and wilderness. Another name for these bad weeds is invasive plants.
Oh wow, so what can we do about invasive plants?
There are lots of ways to control these noxious weeds, including, number 1, chemical control, which is using pesticides to spray and kill a large growth of bad plants. Some invasive weeds can only be treated by this method, and it's very important to use a chemical that will get rid of only the bad weed, while leaving good plants alive. The second method is mechanical, which means pulling them out by hand. The third method is called cultural. This is using other good plants to grow in place of the bad weeds. The final method is biological weed control. This is where we use good insects and animals to eat and destroy the invasive plants.
So what is biological control?
So in the past 100 years, many harmful plants, or non-native plants, have invaded Idaho and other states, disturbing and even killing original plants. This can ruin our balance of good plants, prairies, and forests. And this is where the Nez Perce Biocontrol Center comes in. This is Paul. Paul is the head of the Nez Perce Biocontrol Center located in Lapwai, Idaho, just a few miles outside of Lewiston. Hey Paul, can you tell us what you do?
What we do here at the Nez Perce Biocontrol Center is we're utilizing these specialized insects that like to gobble up and do destruction to invasive and noxious weeds. And that gives the advantage back to the native plants that we're trying to protect, or the desirable vegetation such as agriculture crops or even pasture land crops that are being utilized for cattle.
So Paul, why do we use biological control agents?
The benefits of using biological control is that these insects, they have very targeted weeds that they like to eat and to do destruction to. So we utilize these on the large landscape where they'll move and seek and find these different weeds that they are a host to.
And where do we use biological control agents?
Biological controls work really well on those large landscapes where it covers vast acres of a certain weed. And the biocontrol agents, they're like little army guys that will move and seek and find these different weeds across a large landscape where it's unpractical to use other tools. One is in those sensitive areas, which is along waterways, lakes, or rivers, where using other tools such as chemical controls would not be environmentally sound. And also biocontrol works good in those areas where it's hard to reach, where it's dangerous to get up into using different equipment.
So I'm wondering, how do we get these biological control agents?
So there's a couple ways that we get biocontrol agents. For the new biocontrol agents that have been newly approved for use in the United States, we work really closely with researchers and scientists where we get these new insects and start raising them at the Biocontrol Center. We have these field insectaries from which we can use sweep nets and just go collect masses of them, and then we containerize them, and then we can get them out to new areas of need.
How many of our weeds can be treated with biological controls?
So we have about 70 noxious weeds on the Idaho State Noxious Weed List. Of those 70, we can utilize biocontrol agents on about 30 of them.
That's amazing, Paul. Thanks for telling us about the Nez Perce Biocontrol Center and the important role that it plays in fighting noxious weeds here in Idaho.
It is so exciting because biocontrol is a very good tool in addressing weeds that are on a large landscape. Without biocontrol, I think we would be way behind the curve in the controls of these different noxious weeds that we have in Idaho and also within the western states of the United States. So thank you so much for letting me be part of this.
So there you have it. Biological control agents are an important tool in the fight against the spread of invasive plants. To learn more about biocontrol in Idaho, visit the Nez Perce Biocontrol Center website at nezpercebiocontrol.com. And be sure to help us spread the word that we can all be a part of helping to protect our great state from these invasive noxious weeds.